Hey guys, welcome back. So I've got a review and demo for you today on the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. So I'm going to do like I normally do in my foundation reviews. We'll talk about pricing, packaging, I'm going to show you a little demo, and then just kind of give you my overall thoughts and opinions at the end. So let's jump into it. So this foundation costs $43 and you get 1.01 ounces, and I am in the shade Y325 Flesh, which is the old 118. They make it really easy because not only do they say the new coloring, but they also say the old coloring as well, or the numbering. So if you know what you were in the old range, then you'll be able to figure out what you are in the new range as well really easily, because it's on the bottle, the box, and also online. So that makes it super, super easy. As far as the claims go, there's a long explanation, so I'm just going to list the link to this product on Sephora's website so you can read exactly what it says about it, but here's the kind of the shortened version. It's a best-selling HD foundation that appears more invisible, comfortable, and natural looking than ever. And basically it is formulated for film and TV, that really unforgiving HD 4x optical whatever unforgiving situation. That's going to show every flaw on your skin. So this is formulated to look really great on film, TV, but also in life. So it's supposed to look natural looking, pretty on the skin, just perfected looking skin. It's supposed to be long lasting with a natural looking finish, and it also is formulated with hyaluronic spheres for time released hydration that ensures comfortable wear on all skin types. So basically it's just supposed to look really nice, be long wearing, and also comfortable on the skin for all skin types. So those are the claims. As far as the packaging goes, kind of looks like the old one, really. I don't really notice much of a difference. Does have a pump, which is really nice, kind of a plasticky packaging, so that's good for travel and it's not as heavy. Just, you know, it's nice to have that instead of glass. And I think that, you know, as far as the pricing goes, I think it's pretty fair. It's still in that like Sephora higher end foundation range. It's not a drugstore price. It is a higher priced foundation, but I think that it's fair in that it's in kind of that realm of pricing as far as higher end foundations go. So now that we've talked about the pricing, packaging, and the claims, let's get to the demo. Okay, so what I'm going to do is apply one side with a brush and one side with a beauty blender so you can kind of like see the difference. I'm going to be using a Beauty Junkies flat kabuki brush for this side, and this is like the traditional like one-of-a-kind beauty blender, but I do really like the Real Techniques one. So I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush for the left side. I get maybe like, that's probably too much for half of my face, but normally I get like, I don't know, a couple of small pumps, not like a full pump, just about that much. Okay, so there is one relatively thin coat, and then this side has nothing on it yet. So now I'm gonna get some on my face and then use my beauty blender. Okay, so you can see that the Beauty Blender definitely has less coverage, but I want to show you that because you really do have options with this foundation that you can apply a really thin coat and get pretty sheer coverage, or you can just apply a little bit more and have more coverage. And also depending on what tool you use kind of changes how much coverage you do get. So to even it out a little bit, I'm going to use a little bit more with my Beauty Blender. Okay, so there is that. So you can see it's just a really nice finish on the skin. It's very natural. It's not super dewy or super matte. It just looks like skin, and I really like the coverage of it. It all depends on what you use to apply it and how much you use. I do notice a little bit of pores in here, but I have worn this with a primer and that definitely solves that problem. So I'd probably recommend a primer if you have some issues with pores. Mine are just mainly right in here that I can notice mine. So a primer helps with that. But what I'm going to do is apply one more coat just so you can see a little bit more coverage with this foundation. And I'm just going to use my brush for both sides on this one. Alright, so there it is with that coat. So you can see just more coverage, but still just a really nice natural finish on the skin. I love the way that this foundation looks so much. So what I'm going to do is finish the rest of my makeup and then come back for my final thoughts and review. So clearly I love the way that this applies and just the finish on the skin. It's just a really beautiful natural finish. I love the way that it looks. As far as the wear time, my skin is somewhere between combination oily to normal. It seems to change every day. My skin seems to have a mind of its own, so it's very unpredictable. But generally, I'm combination oily to normal, somewhere in that range. And I notice it lasts really well. I do start to get shiny, especially in my T-zone, for sure, so I have to blot throughout the day. But I don't notice like shininess on the sides of my face, but I'm not as oily there. So I just have to do some blotting. But what's interesting is I don't notice it breaking down and separating and just generally going away, because a lot of foundations do that. If I start to get oily, the foundation will start to break down and just like come off of my skin and just not last. I don't notice that with this foundation. This foundation really seems to stay on my skin. I just get kind of oily, so I have to do some blotting. So if you are around my skin type, somewhere in the normal to combination oily range, I think that you'll be fine. If you're more on the oily side, if you're like combination oily, I think you're gonna have to blot like I do. If you're super oily, I would say get a sample and see how it does for you, and definitely try it with some kind of a mattifying primer or something that will help with that a little bit, because you may get too oily for your preferences with this foundation. But just give it a try, see how you like it. I will say this lasts and looks so much better than the original did on me. The original did not work for me at all. I used it on clients at Sephora and it would look really pretty on them, but for some reason that one just did not work on my skin. It would separate even at the beginning. It didn't look nice. It didn't wear well on my skin. But this one is like a whole different ball game. I love it. I think it looks so nice, lasts well. I just have to do a little bit of blotting throughout the day. All right, guys, so that's my overall thoughts and review on the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. So I hope that you really enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful for you. Let me know down below what you think about this foundation. Not only is it interesting for me to read, but I think it's really helpful for other people reading and commenting in the comment section, because then they can see what your experience was with it. So if you have the same skin type as me or a different skin type, let us all know what your experience has been with it. I think that'll really be helpful for everybody reading in the comments section. If you have any questions about this foundation, just ask those. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video.